But if you can start to get cybersecurity professionals to see why social engineering as a threat can be addressed by social engagement, and how impact can really affect the next outcome, then you can then take that and then you can start having the conversations. How do we get psychological safety in larger organizations? It lets you have a very defined, because a lot of times the problem with psychological safety can be the fear that somebody tells you how you are being bad or doing wrong. Cybersecurity, it's more about an outside attack happening to you. So it gives you that psychological safety environment to build the culture that you want to build around it. So that's how I feel. And Robert, you can obviously share even more on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's interesting path because you know, I've seen some companies say that we want to have psychological safety, and they run a couple of videos and a couple of programs here and a couple of programs there, and the executive team doesn't really embrace it because it's not really for them, it's for everybody else. And then what happens is psychological safety becomes just the program du jour, and it goes out the window and forgotten because it doesn't work. And psychological safety is about changing behavior. If you don't change behavior, if you don't change the culture, you're not going to get psychological safety. And so with any team, what I recommend is we first start with doing a little bit of work in emotional intelligence, right? Because we have to learn how to manage our emotions. And more importantly, well, let me rephrase that. We have to learn how to manage our emotions and also recognize the emotions in others. And when we have that, then we can have a little more empathy as well. And some teams need work in communication. How do you really engage in an effective face-to-face conversation? And then we can start looking at psychological safety. The good news is that we have access to a scan that was developed by Amy Edmondson that we can give to a team at the beginning of an engagement and throughout an engagement or at different times to see if we're really moving the marker. But it is about changing behavior. So yes, starting in the IT department, that could actually spread like wildfire through an organization as well too, because they touch every department in an organization. So it's a terrific place to start. Absolutely.
And I'm just kind of curious, Ken, since IT is kind of your space, I mean, how much psychological training would you say most cybersecurity professionals even have been exposed to?
So it's funny you talk about that, because I've been presenting to colleges all across the country, and I've asked the same question. In their cybersecurity programs, how many psychology classes are required? And out of the 150 colleges that I've talked to, I have not found one that had a required psychology class. And we have a lot of interest in what's called red team, blue team, how we do cyber hacking and how we do cyber defending. But it's all on how we use the technology, how we use Python, which is a programming language, how we can attack, what are the attack vectors. But we ignore the fact that the attack vector that everybody uses is social engineering, which is never going to be fixed by a Python program. It's never going to be fixed by the next hack attack.
Exactly.
And so that's why this should be, and I'm trying to work with a lot of the colleges to engage this. We should talk with every student that wants to do cybersecurity about what a human being feels before they're attacked, when they're attacked, and after they're attacked. But we want to put in more firewalls, more switches, routers, software packages, AI, but not ask. It's kind of like trying to fix a heart attack, but not actually fixing your heart. You fix your lungs, you fix your muscles, you fix your blood.